Hello and welcome back to another episode of World Tour on Football Manager 2021. Now, since the last episode where we played against Wexford and Cabinteely and sealed our status as the champions of the SSE Airtricity League First Division, we have played 2 league games and a few friendlies. So we started off with a disappointing 3-0 defeat in a friendly against Glenavon, but then followed that up with a 3-2 victory over Sligo Rovers Mark II. So they took the lead thanks to Gorman, but we managed to claw it back to 2-1 with 2 goals from Danny Morrissey. Alex Gorman equalised, and then Stephen Christopher came up with the winner eventually in the 69th minute. In this game, Danny Morrissey picked up an injury, which was to keep him out for between 3 and 7 weeks. Fortunately, it's been shorter than 7 weeks that he's been out. He's almost at full fitness now, so he'll not play. I don't think he'll play in the Athlone Town game, but he might play in the Degrading United game. But of course, that meant we had to be without him for the game against Cork City. But then we played Glentoran and we drew 1-1 with them in a friendly. And the game against Cork City, we battered them 3-0. Daily Butts, Verdon and Gertlicker even getting in on the action there in a 3-0 victory. And then we've just played a friendly against Larne and also won 3-0. Now you may notice a name that you're not really aware of in the goals for that game. Darren Feeney. Now, he is a right winger who has just come in with the new intake of youth players. A 16-year-old Irishman, and he looks pretty decent for a 16-year-old. 9 passing, 9 first touch, 9 dribbling is pretty good. He's not the only one that looks pretty decent from our recent intake. There's a couple of them that have made the bench already. It's simply because trying to only play players that are definitely going to be here next season. All of these players here haven't signed new contracts yet, and I'm not sure whether they will. I'm hoping they will, but I don't know. So we have got a few of the new youth intake on the bench. Mike Wolfe is not one of them. He's been with us for a little while now, I believe. But he's coming on the bench. You'll not be aware of him. He can play at centre back or right back. He's got 10 tackling, 8 marking, 8 heading. Pretty decent. Still needs to push on a bit though. He's a bit older than I thought he was. He's 19, so if he's going to make a move, it's got to be the coming season, I would say. Otherwise, we might have to get rid of him. But then looking at players that did come in the youth intake, Rory McIver, he looks really good. Centre back, a tackling of 12 is his standout attribute, but heading of 9 is great as well. It's just his marking that really needs work in the centre back position, but he's of course only 16 years old. His determination could do with getting a bit higher as well, but hopefully that comes a bit with age. But yeah, he looks like a good prospect. And then the other final good prospect is Derek Ritaro. He's a centre midfielder. He's got 10 technique, 7 tackling, 10 passing, 9 free kick takings, pretty decent too. His determination's quite high at 11 as well, so hopefully he's going to be a star player of the future for Sligo if we get that far in managing them. Of course, the aim is to try and win the Premier Division next season, but we'll see how we get on with that. And then finally, before we get into today's first match against Athlone Town, we have signed someone finally. It's on a free transfer, Derek Meaney from St Pat's Athletic. He's 19 years old. He plays at centre back. He's got 14 tackling, 9 marking, and 9 heading. And he could fit right into the first team, I would say. He's probably going to be a backup for next season, but we'll see what happens in the post-season and pre-season for next year. But yeah, we've brought him in on I can't remember what contract we've given him. It doesn't tell me. Does it tell me that? No, it doesn't tell me. I guess we'll find out when he comes in, but I'm pretty sure I didn't pay too much in terms of his wages. So today's first match is top of the table against bottom of the table. Sligo against Athlone Town. Athlone Town, who have a minus 50 goal difference, against us, who have a plus 45 goal difference. Surely this game can only go one way. So as I said, Danny Morrissey is still recovering from his injury. He's recommended to play a maximum of 60 minutes, so we're not going to start him in today's game. We're going to instead have Big Trevor in goal, as always. John Kavanagh, who has signed a new contract. He's one of the few players that have managed to sign a new contract in the time between last episode and this episode. Sagitas, Alberkis and John Mann are our centre-backs as always. Kieran Kelly is at left-back. Power, Verdon and Buckley are the centre midfielders. Christopher at right wing, Daly Butts at left wing, and Sven Gertlicher getting another start up front, hoping to add to his tally of 2 goals for the season, the youngster. I think he's still quite young. He's only, how old is he? 17. Yeah, he's still very young. But 2 goals for the amount of games that I think he's played is a pretty decent return so far. And of course, we've got those youngsters I mentioned previously on the bench. Maybe they'll make some form of appearance in today's game. And apparently we need to give a squad number to Mikey McGlynn, another one that I didn't actually mention. He's part of our youth team. He's been here for a few years now, but he looks pretty decent. His handling is the only thing that I think is letting him down at the moment. He's going to be our backup goalkeeper for the time being, and that's simply because our other goalkeepers are either... I'm pretty sure they just don't want to be here. I had a bit of a mind blank there. Jack Brady is transfer listed because he wants to leave, and then Sean Martin's transfer listed because he wasn't very good. I think that's what I did. Yeah, so if Mike McGlynn can work on his handling, he'll be a pretty decent challenger for that number 1 spot to Trevor Murphy. But we will give him the number 33, just a random number, no reason for it. Team talk time. So we are going to say, go out there and carry straight on from where you finished the last match. And Sven's looking a bit apprehensive, which is a little bit concerning, but hopefully he'll get over that and manage to grab a goal or 2 for us today here at the showgrounds as we face a team that we should definitely be beating quite comfortably. And Murphy with a short goal kick to Alberkis. Can we get a goal early on in the opening 10 minutes of this game? Power with a nice pass to Christopher out on the right wing. He's going to try and dribble past a few players. Gets tackled, loses the ball. And Ewart with the ball cleared. Kavanagh picks it up for us though. Nice pass from him to Buckley. Tackled by Lennon, but Verdon gets the ball now. Is he going to play it to the left? He's not. He's going to skip past a few defenders instead. He gets the ball back off the deflection. Daly Butts plays it back to Kieran Kelly. Ball into the box. Christopher! What a goal by Stephen Christopher, but it's been disallowed for offside. Kelly with a beautiful ball in. I think he is just offside. That's very close. Excellent first time finish, but unfortunately it's not going to count. Christopher with a free kick from the left-hand side. Verdon to the back post, and that's headed over by the advanced playmaker Sam Verdon there. Good chance. We're making plenty of opportunities here, as you would expect, as we have a corner coming from the right side this time. Christopher with the ball in, and it's Buckley with a header, and it's a great save. No, it wasn't a save. It must have hit the bar. Another free kick. Christopher takes it, and I think that's a penalty, is it? Yep. Evan White apparently pushed John Mann, and up steps, I'm assuming it's Sam Verdon. Yes, Sam Verdon to take the penalty, and it's saved by the goalkeeper and cleared by Donnelly. Well, it's not very often I've seen Sam Verdon miss penalties, I don't think. Now, another short goal kick, inevitably, from Murphy. Nice, I was going to say nice pass from Alberkis, but it definitely wasn't. We've got the ball back, only to give it away again. Walker with the ball over the top. Mann heads that clear nicely, and Buckley can come away with it now. Can we do something with this? We can't. The only thing we can do is lose the ball, but we win it back, thankfully. Buckley aware to it. Verdon now advances through on goal, gives it to Christopher. Can he get a ball into the box? Gives it to Verdon, and it's 1-0. Finally, we break the deadlock just before half-time. Sam Verdon making up for his earlier penalty miss to get his 3rd goal of the season. Verdon starting the move, really. Played a nice through ball to Christopher, who turns back on himself, passes it across the box to Sam Verdon, who was in tons of space, not being marked at all, and he smashes that to the goalkeeper's right-hand side, and it's 1-0 eventually to Sligo. Another chance, Christopher, ball in, back post, Alberkis is there, and that's just over the bar. We've had plenty of opportunities from set pieces in this first half, but it remains 1-0 to Sligo. Arguably should be more, definitely should be more if you take into account the penalty miss. But we're going to say you've played well so far, but there's still room for improvement, and we will see how everyone is doing. Condition-wise, they're looking okay. Rating-wise, it's pretty okay too. No changes to be made as of yet. Corner, Christopher from the left-hand side. Daly Butts is there, it's headed away. Donnelly flicks it on further, but that's going to come back to us with the left-back, Kieran Kelly, who just slowly jogs over to the ball. Now it's Buckley. looking for an option to pass to. Plays it back to the centre-back man, who finds Kelly on the left-hand side. Ball in. Christopher's there with a header, and it's another miss from a heading opportunity for us. We've had plenty of chances from set pieces and just crosses into the box with our head, but we've not taken one yet. Christopher with the ball in. Albercus again with another headed chance. But it wasn't to be. Kelly has got the ball back from the goalkeeper's clearance, and he plays that to the left winger, Daly Butts. Can he get another ball in the box? Buckley now. Back to Daly Butts. Switches play across field. Albercus has got it at centre-back now. Ball over the top. Headed away by O'Reilly. And I feel like this isn't going to really come to anything, as Kelly has the ball at left-back once more. Long ball forward from him. Gertlicker. Nice touch. Can he get a ball in? Christopher's there. It's too high for Christopher, and it's headed away by the defender, but Christopher's going to pick it up in the right wing position and gets fouled by Bean. I feel like he sort of earned that one. Bean seemed to go down before Christopher was near him, and that is a red card for Bean. Bit unfortunate that, because it seemed like Christopher just ran into the leg of Bean, but we move on. Verdon with the ball to his centre midfield partner Power. Now Kavanagh. Verdon to Christopher, back to Verdon. Nice through ball. Kavanagh, Gertlicker. That is a goal of beauty. Sven Gertlicker finishes it off, but it was all about the passing move. Kavanagh got the ball, gave it to Verdon. To Christopher, back to Verdon, who found a first time through ball to Kavanagh. Played it in first time, then Gertlicker with a beautiful header to get his third goal of the season, the youngster. It's just beautiful football. I hope we can continue this into the top tier next season. Free kick, Christopher to take in the central position. Buckley's there with a header. It's off the bar. Another headed opportunity missed. We definitely need to practice our heading in training. Of course, we have got that goal with Sven. But other than that, there's been lots of missed opportunities with our head today as we head into the final. I didn't even realise that. It's the final 10 minutes, and we're going to make a change. We're probably going to make 3 changes, to be fair. John Mann is going to come off. We'll bring on the youngster Rory McIver. I also want to bring on Dara Cretaro. He will come on for Sam Verdon, who has had a blinder of a game today. And then we will leave it at that, because I don't want to risk Morrissey. Shall we bring O'Malley? We'll bring O'Malley on as well in place of Gary Buckley. So all 3 subs made with just under 10 minutes to go. And this looks like it's going to be another free kick for us from a very central position this time. Is Christopher going to have a shot this time? He does, and it's just wide from Stephen Christopher. After all the balls in that he's played from set pieces, he thought he'd just take a dig, and fair play to him, he nearly scored. As we have another chance here. Cretaro, the youngster, can he do something? He plays it to Power. Back to Cretaro. Beautiful pass to Kavanagh. Ball in, Gertlicker's there. Christopher, Cretaro, it's O'Malley. And it's finally cleared by McKinley, I think, but there was an offside in there somewhere. Gertlicker was apparently offside. Cretaro having an opportunity to get his first goal in a Sligo Rovers shirt, but it wasn't to be, as the ball is given straight back to us. But there's the full-time whistle, and the lads are giving our fans a lap of honour, as it is the final home game of the season. And it's a decent 2-0 win. Christopher, clearly man of the match there with a 9.2 rating. He has been... Well, he's had lots of free kicks to take, but they've created lots of chances for us. And we're going to say, without stretched arms, I'm very pleased with the result and the performance. Well done. And that result, of course, takes us 27 points clear at the top of the table. We are 61 points clear of Athlone Town, who, of course, we've just beaten. Can we get up to 50 goal difference by the end of the season? We've got 1 game left, so we need to win 3-0. To get 50 goal difference. That'd be a nice achievement. So apparently we are 1 match away from setting a record for number of wins in a single season. I think it's a team record. So the current mark is 22 games. If we win against Drogheda, that'll be our 23rd win of the season, and we will have our place in the record books. Hopefully we can do it. Another record that we're close to is Murphy hitting the clean sheets record. He's apparently got 13 clean sheets so far, despite the fact it says 15 there. The existing record is 14, so he can equal the record, apparently. So here we are, it's 6th versus 1st. We have a game against Drogheda United to end the season away from home. They are currently in a playoff place. They can lose that today if they lose and Cabinteely win against Cove Ramblers, so they definitely have something to play for. But of course we want that win record, and we want 3 goals and the 50 goal difference, hopefully. Now, unfortunately, Danny Morrissey is not fit enough to start today's game either, so the lineup is remaining as it was for the last game against Athlone Town, and hopefully they can have a repeat performance and possibly an even better performance and get a few more goals. So, team talk, and we're simply going to say I want you to pick up where you left off last time out. It's only really motivated Dara Power, which isn't great. And we've got a bit of a kit clash, to be honest. We're playing in the dark blue and red, and they're playing in a sort of claret and light blue colour. So we should be able to see who it is. Obviously, we have the names above the head as well, as Daly Butts is advancing forward. He plays it back to Verdon, though, as there seems to be a rock wall in front of him in terms of the Drogheda defence. But Verdon has moved through them, and it's a great shot, but just saved by McNicholas. Throw in on the left-hand side. Kelly gives it to Verdon. Ball forward, headed away by Wilson. Now O'Farrell's got it for Drogheda. McLaughlin out wide left to Rafferty. Now O'Farrell. It's a nice passing play from Drogheda. In the build-up to the match, they were saying about how they're more of a counter-attacking team. But we're not seeing that just there. Obviously, nice passing play, similar to how we play, as Albercus has the ball. Now Verdon, just slow build-up from the back. Verdon skipping past their left midfielder and still running down this right-hand side. Plays it across to Christopher, who plays a ball at the back post, but passes it to Buckley, but it's offside. I think it was Daly Butts that was offside. Oh, no, it wasn't. It was Gertlicker. Gertlicker was interfering with play, I assume. It didn't really look like he was, but it's what the officials are saying. Throw in just inside our half. Kelly gives it to Verdon. Now, the centre-back, John Mann. Can he find a ball? He can. He gives it to Daly Butts down this left-hand side. He's going to try and run past the defender. Passes it across to Buckley. And across again to Verdon. Through ball to Daly Butts. Daly Butts! It's a great save again by McNicholas. And Christopher tries to get a ball back into the box, but it's blocked by the defender and it's out for a throw-in right by the corner flag. And as things stand, Cabinteely are actually winning their game against Cove Ramblers. So Drogheda United would not get a playoff place after all their hard work this season. Look at how many teams are on 39 points. There's 4 teams on 39 points. That playoff race is very close as we reach half time, and it remains 0-0. We've definitely had the better of the game, but we just can't seem to score as of yet. So hands on hips time. I'm not happy with the performance out there. Hope that motivates them on to do a bit better. Sven Gertlicker is looking ill-disciplined, apparently. Danny Morrissey can handle 45 minutes of football, so we're going to give him 45 minutes of football. Hopefully he doesn't get any further injuries. We've got a poor performer in Kieran Kelly and John Kavanagh, both fullbacks, not playing great at the moment, but we'll leave them on for the time being. We have, of course, got Mike Wolfe, who can play at right back on the bench, so he might have to come on at some point in the second half if things don't improve. Corner kick, Christopher. Into the box, headed away by Phelan. Christopher's going to get another chance to get it in, though. And he does. Daly Butts with a header, and that's just over the bar again. Headed misses are just a theme of our game at the moment. But we've got a throw in deep in their half. Kelly gets a ball back from Daly Butts. Verdon on the edge of the box. Is he going to shoot? He plays it to Kavanagh! And John Kavanagh has left it late. He's left it till the final game of the season to get his first goal of the season. But what a goal it is. Smashed in from the edge of the D. It was Kelly with a throw-in, got it back from Daly Butts, flicked on to Verdon. I thought he was going to take the shot himself. He decides to be very kind and plays it to Kavanagh, who just smashes that to the goalkeeper's left-hand side, right into the top corner. And it's finally 1-0 to Sligo. And we seem to have a bit of an injury for one of our centre midfielders. Power has picked up a foot injury, so we're gonna take him off. And I'm not sure who's best to play in the ball-winning midfielder role, to be honest. He's got 7 tackling, Cretaro. And Conor O'Malley's only got 6. Gary Buckley has got 10. He's looking like the main candidate for that role. So Buckley's going to move to the ball-winning midfielder. And then we will look at the stamina. And Cretaro can come in for Dara. Power looking elsewhere. Kieran Kelly still not playing great at left-back. John Kavanagh, of course, has got that goal now, so that's helped his rating. So we're going to move Kavanagh to left-back. Kelly is going to come off and we'll bring on Mike Wolfe for an appearance. And that's our final change of the game. As McNicholas plays it long. And Mark Hugh has it now, gives it to Wilson. Nice passing play Really don't know what they were talking about when they were saying that they're a counter-attacking team. They seem to be very good with the ball at their feet. But Daily Butts has got it for us at his feet. Through to Morrissey. I feel like if he was 100%, he would finish that. Or at least get the shot away. He was a bit slow to kick the ball there. Oh, no. So all 3 changes have been made. And wouldn't you know it, we've picked up another injury. An upper body injury, apparently. Sam Verdon is injured, so what are we going to do? I honestly don't know. Morrissey, okay, we're going to bring Morrissey back into an attacking midfield role. We'll put him as a shadow striker just to give us that extra cover in midfield. So we're going with a strikerless tactic for the final 20 minutes of the game. Let's see how this goes. Hopefully we can hold on to the victory. Of course, it would be our 23rd victory of the season. Doesn't look like we're going to get that 50 goal difference though, which is a bit disappointing. But there is the full-time whistle. It is a narrow 1-0 victory today. Pretty decent considering we had 10 men for the last 20 minutes of the game. And we're going to say, with outstretched arms, well done lads. That was a good win for us, especially to end the season. So we end the season 22 points. I can't count. It's not 22 points. It's 27 points? Yeah, 27 points clear of second place, Cork City. The teams that are in the playoffs and with a chance of joining us in the Premier Division next season are Cork City, Wexford, Cabinteely and University of the City of Dublin. It'll be interesting to see which of those can have a chance of getting up. I think in the past few seasons in the game, there's not been any of the playoff teams that have got promoted. The team that's finished second bottom in the top division has always just been able to stay there. So Sam Vernon's injury is a back strain, so he's going to be out for between 3 to 4 weeks, which doesn't really matter because it's the end of the season. So he'll definitely be back to full fitness by the start of pre-season. And Darragh Power's only out for 2 to 3 days with a bruised ankle. So not really too concerning, as we have a little news article about Wolf making his debut for the club. He's well received by the supporters. There was a keen sense of intrigue around the club as they got to see him for the first time. So there's confirmation of our prize money for getting first place in the first division. We've been awarded 82.71k. That'll help a little bit towards our financial situation, but not really that much. And I don't know why that article is saying that Shamrock Rovers Mark II are playoff bound, because they can't get into the playoffs because they can't ever be in the same league as their first team. But we'll take a look at the finances, see how that's improved things. It's not really improved things at all. 575k still in the red. There's confirmation of the record high number of wins for Sligo Rovers this season. 23 matches won is a new team record. And here it is. Here's the end of season review. I was expecting it to come, and it's not disappointed. So, the new arrivals. Of course, we brought in Liam Hassan. He didn't really play that much, but when he did play, he managed to score 2 goals in his 2 starts, 7 sub appearances, average rating of 6.82. The board were pretty delighted to bring him in on loan, and they were happy with a lower wage contribution than they'd normally expect to pay for a player of his ability. Of course, he was just brought in as backup, and that's the way that it's turned out for him this season. Of course, Daily Butts I don't think he's had an injury this season, so there's not been many more opportunities for Hassan to play. In terms of the transfers out that we've done, of course, Ronan Coughlin going to Shelbourne for 50k. They were happy with the deal for that. Lewis Banks going to Derry City for 40k. Again, content with the deal for that. And then Stephen Mead going to Athlone Town for 186k. The fact that it could bring in an extra 116k in future fees has pleased the board there. Now, for the season's results. So we were expected to reach the promotion playoff as a minimum. We actually finished top, obviously. Our average home attendance was 1,291, which is only 28% of the capacity of our stadium, which isn't great, but I guess that's what you would expect for turning semi-professional and also dropping down a tier. So hopefully we can push on and get a few more fans to attend next season. Top scorer, Danny Morrissey, 20 goals, a standout of the season. Danny Morrissey's been brilliant. And then board confidence, they're delighted that the team won the first division this season. Moments to remember. So the biggest win we had was a 6-1 victory over Bray Wanderers, where Morrissey managed to get 4, Daly Butts and Christopher each getting 1. The match to remember was the 4-1 victory over Drogheda United in April. And then the goal of the season was apparently Buckley with a goal against Athlone Town. So here we go. Daily Butts gives us the power. Christopher, ball over to Buckley. First time shot, and that is a hell of a finish from Gary Buckley. That's well-deserved goal of the season for Sligo Rovers to Gary Buckley for that one. Now, the finances aren't looking great. Sponsorship was the same as last season. Broadcast revenue, of course, down because we dropped down a division. Corporate and hospitality down as well, probably because of the same reason. Competition prize money was up because we managed to win something. Of course, it was just the first division title, but still something, and a little increase in match day commercial and retail. Corley, Buckley, Albercus, Morrissey and Marn are the best-selling shirts. 308 shirts sold. Hopefully, we can get a bit more money next season by performing well in the top tier. And then this is our best 11. So Trevor Murphy in goal. He was our stalwart goalkeeper. Stayed there the whole season pretty much. Dunleavy at right back. He got replaced by Kavanagh a little way in. I think that was mainly towards the end of the season when we haven't signed Dunleavy to a new deal yet. Marn and Seymour is our centre-back pairing. Of course, Seymour was eventually dropped for Albercus because Seymour was unhappy. So don't think I'm definitely not going to sign Seymour to a new deal, even if I can, for next season. He's 32 and also he's not happy at the club, or at least he hasn't been. Kieran Kelly at left back, he was there most of the season, I believe. Corley, Verdon and Keedy were our starting three. Although I'd argue against Corley, Buckley's probably played there more, I would have said, but perhaps I'm wrong. Christopher and Daily Butts on the wing, and then strangely, Thomas Breen up front. Where's Danny Morrissey? Danny Morrissey got 20 goals this season. How on earth is Danny Morrissey not up there? That is, I don't believe that. That is, I don't know what's happening. Now, the accolades. In terms of manager awards, I won the Manager of the Month for March, April, May, June, July and September this season. A pretty successful season for myself. But in the player awards, Christopher won the Fans Player of the Season. John Marn was Young Player of the Season. Gary Buckley with Goal of the Season, of course, we've already said. Danny Morrissey, top scorer, as we've already said. Stephen Christopher, most assists with 11. Stephen Christopher also most Player of the Match awards with 11. And Stephen Christopher, highest average rating with 7.7. Now, in terms of overall records, Danny Morrissey has broken the records for most overall goals by a player in a season, most league goals by a player in a season, most goals by a player in a match, most goals by a player in a league match. He's just smashed records completely with his 4 goals in one game, and then his 23 goals in the season, 20 goals in the league. And then, of course, as we've already mentioned, Trevor Murphy picking up the most clean sheets by a player in a season with 16 this year. Christopher, most Player of the Match awards in the season with 11. Highest transfer fee received was for Stephen Mead, 69 grand, obviously rising up to 180 grand if some conditions are met. And then youngest goal scorer was Sven Gertlich at the age of 16 years and 359 days. So history in the making. It says your hard work and effort paid off in the pitch, and such a feat didn't go unrewarded at our end of season awards ceremony. And Mike Henry from the Irish Football Messenger said it was a superb season for Sligo Rovers as they claimed the title to back up their pre-season credentials. So of course, pre-season we were 91-1 on favourites, very clear favourites to win the First Division, and we have proved them right. So we've had a few players inducted into the overall best 11 for Sligo this season, to Kieran Kelly, the pick of the 3 players moving in at left back. Trevor Murphy is our new goalkeeper in the best 11, and then Emmett Keedy joining the fray as well. Although I don't know where he is, he must be on the bench. So we have an updated club vision and expectation. We have a meeting about that. So the club culture, they want us to play defensively solid football, possession football, make the most of set pieces and play high tempo pressing football. I can do that, I think. There's some ongoing minimum 2-year contracts for first team players, work within the wage budget, of course. By the end of next season, they want to finish in a relegation playoff. I want to do a bit better than that, to be honest, but I don't know, I might try and change that if I can. And of course, my contract expires. And then moving on from that, they just want to remain in the league and then repair the club's financial damage. So I'll negotiate that. I don't want defensively solid football. I can do the high tempo and I can do the possession and making the most of set pieces and all that jazz. So I'm happy with that. And I can't change next season's expectation, but I can change the season after. So we'll say top half finish the season after. That's the only one I can change. So I'll suggest that. We believe your opening proposal is a long way short of an acceptable standard. It's unrealistic belief that we can become a top half team by the end of the 2026 season. Okay, I'm not going to argue with them too much. If that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. And we can just try and prove them wrong. So quick update on the squad dynamics. Dressing room atmosphere is excellent. Managerial support is excellent, which is nice to see. Our team leaders have done Levy, Corley and Seymour. Of course, Seymour will be leaving us at the end of the season. Buckley and Mann are the highly influential players. Then we've got Morrissey, Albercus, Verdon, Christopher and Daly Butts and Kieran Kelly as our influential players. So the majority of those players, the only one that's not signed a new deal are Dunleavy and Seymour, but hopefully I can sign Dunleavy to a new deal. So now it's time for the end of season team meeting. Let's see what we can say. Of course, our expectation for next season is to try and get in the relegation playoff. I'm going to say we've all done very well to adopt our style of play over the last few months, and I'm confident that when you come back for pre-season, we can improve things even further. Oh no. They don't think we've done a good job of that. Okay, well that's not great. I wasn't expecting that sort of overreaction. No, because no one's agreed with me. That wasn't the overall reaction I was hoping for, although I'm grateful to those of you who do agree with me, despite the fact that no one agrees with me. And John Mann saying, I'm not sure Nelly has accomplished in this style as we should be, so that's surprising to hear. I'll discuss some promises. That's cheered them up a little bit. I'm not planning on improving anything because we don't have any money. I'll be giving more opportunities to younger players this season. Okay, that seems to have gone well with the majority of them. And I want you all to know that I won't be standing anyone's way if any big offers come in for you this season. Oh no. Oh, and a bit negative. O'Malley and Trevor Murphy are very happy about that though. So I'll say I think that's enough promises for now, and we've got a slightly positive atmosphere at the end of that team meeting. It didn't start well, but I feel like we clawed that back in the end. So just before I end this episode, of course, we have quite a few players down here that haven't signed new deals just yet, but we are going to try and sign into new deals. I'm not sure if they'll take one now, but we'll try. We'll try with David Corley. So contract, offer new contract. He's not currently interested, so we'll have to see if that changes before his contract's up or not. Otherwise, we will have at least cut some money off the wage budget, saved a bit of money there, but we will be struggling, I would imagine, to get many players who aren't on loan next season. But that is it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the season and us finally winning something, even if it is just the opportunity to win the top, to compete in the top league next season. But it's still a win. It was expected, to be honest, when we got relegated as well. But hopefully next season we can push on and do a bit better than the board's expecting us, because they're expecting a relegation battle next season. Of course, that'll depend on how many of these players sign for us. But if you did enjoy the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel to get all my content when it comes out, hit the notification bell to stay notified, and I'll see you next time for the start of the season in the Premier League. Back again.